Okay. Should be good. There we go. Put it on the Discord. Okay. Now, we've got the 12 duels happening in a second. Well, not in a second, in like 50 minutes. But until then, I'm playing some ranked because I want to. And kind of because I need to. I need to get a lot better at this game. So, I guess now we just wait. Hey, Warren. How's it going? Oi. Hey. Mr. Ziggy. Okay. So, I'm trying out a new loadout, which is going to cost me a lot of points. Especially because it involves using the Fox, and Fox is really bad at the moment. But I think there are some times where the Fox should work out. Like, I think on paper, the Fox should be better than it actually tends to be in practice. So, I'm trying it out. Hey, Premium. Hey, Lucas. We won't go for a lot of rank tonight. We're going to the 12 duels. We've got a lot to go through. Don't moles and cams serve the same purpose? Kind of. Maybe I should get cams out of the deck. It just feels weird not taking cams. I feel like moles are more aggressive and they can go down earlier, whereas cams are more, you know, defensive. But I never actually used the mole's ability to be aggressive. Like, I could easily go up here, and I probably could have hidden some moles down in this corner. Or over here. I could have got something done. mainly Indian, not the bow. That is an expression I've not heard before. Really hope he doesn't have ferrets. I've been finding moles pretty good. I feel like if I took snake with this loadout, then the fox would be kind of useless, so... Ooh dear. Oh, thank you for that. Thank you very much for running back into the mine. I was getting a bit worried then. Okay, lesson learned. Put a mine here. Okay, he doesn't seem to have any fox counters. Right. That was... Apparently the chameleon survived. Right, now, how do I do this? I need pigeons, really. I need to get on the high ground. Oh shoot, and I can't let that happen. Nope, that's the wrong thing. I was trying to micro my mines. Okay, well this has worked out alright. Whew. That just about worked out. I think that's another good reason to keep the moles in. Moles make good minesweepers. They just have so much health. Crop dusting? You mean, is that a game or do you mean actual crop dusting? Yeah, but it's easier to get just one mole to go up rather than like any sort of, rather than getting like your squirrels or something to go up. I didn't know they died to a mine. Only if they like stay on it. Can't you like step back? Actual crop dusting. I mean, I've not studied it intensely. I'm familiar with it. Hey everybody. Hey Pancakes. Hello anyone else who I missed? Like Moonroot. Focusing not losing my fox or my points. Mr. Ziggy here. Hey Pedro. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Yep, need those points. I need to warm up for doing my own 12 duels. After tonight, we'll have finished all the Pingu duels and everyone will be contacting me. Already talked to QQ about like trying to figure out a day. I might just do those after the stream actually. Now did he scout my wolf? I didn't see. How is it not like that? Damn it. Got away. Pigs tanking the chameleon hits like pros. No, but you've got like buffed up squirrels, which are pretty good. Oh shit! Hey, we did it! Getting a bit worried there. Oh, well, he can't move in on us anymore. We've definitely held off his attack long enough. He never scouted our other base, so he thinks this is it. Oh. Well, if. And I can get over there pretty quickly. Plus, it's got 8 pigs to defend it, which means he has to actually divert a decent amount of resources to attacking it. He'd have to send his cams over, which means his army consists of about 6 squirrels. So I just move in. I just took a massive bite out of a biscuit. Really should have thought that through more.
No, Aj.
It's biscuits. Chocolate digestives. Right, now this is a type of warm-up I was looking for. Type of practice I need. It's not impossible for me to beat Jet. I have done it before. I just don't play him that often. I don't know... I don't really know what his playstyle is. I knew at the end of last patch he was going Wolf Fox a lot. Dark chocolate digestives.
Jest jodź wielbian wąs.
Okay, this doesn't look too bad. I'm expecting quite a few chameleons from him. Sooner or later.
Jest jodź wielbian wąs.
Now, is he going to be really aggressive with these warrens, or what? The dark chocolate ones are great. Might be pushing my greed a bit hard here, taking the meal before a second tier one warren. If he were to move straight in, I'd be in trouble. I'm a bit troubled by how little I've seen of his commander. I worry he's doing some mole shenanigans somewhere. Mole shenanigans should be coming back in as a lot fewer people are trying them, which means they're a lot more easy to get off. Gonna take that campfire. Now I probably want to go for a tier 3 one pretty quick. Can I push in on that? If no, he's got his own chameleons somewhere. Well, he's got one less now. Maybe when I've got all my chameleons I can move in. I wasn't actually trying to put down a second chameleon warren. I was trying to put down some snakes. And I feel like some snakes would be really good when our boundaries are this close. That's annoying, but we can make do.
Yeah. Big, dirty, stinking bass. Dirty, stinking bass. Big, dirty, stinking bass. Dirty, stinking big. Dirty, stinking bass. Dirty, stinking bass. Big, dirty, stinking bass.
Oh fuck, I forgot my snakes were on the other side. He's been really annoying here.
Yes. What the fuck? What you doing? Don't touch it. Who told you to touch it? I will fucking kill you. Don't ever touch that fucking shit again.
Oh, hello, tier 3 Warren.
I'm a fiend for a big dirty baseline. When I hear one, I have a break time. I think I put a man through like a choir. I let the baseline take me higher. My friends think that it's a bad habit, but I'm just like, fuck you, damn it. If you take my face away, I'll blow your fucking face away. You might think I'm over the top, but when I hear that baseline drop, I'm just
I think I win this.
I don't need no speed. I don't need no heroin. I don't want no coke. You can keep your pattern. I'm a baseline junkie. I'm a baseline junkie. I'm a baseline junkie. And I like it funky. Big, dirty, stinking bass.
Okay, and now the tier 3 building in the background. I'm in a pretty good spot here. You didn't even get my snakes.
The other day I got an asphalt order, and I think it's well out of order. All my neighbours throwing a fit, so I told them suck my dick. And I told them I got the power, and I turned the music up louder. All night till 6 in the morning. Oh, busters, they're just boring. You know me, I'm the baseline barber. Nobody cracked on me, mother. And the police turned up and they took me. We drove down to the lick and they booked me. But they said they'd give me a
I'm willing to just move in.
I'm a baseline fucking shooting. I don't need no speed. I don't need no heroin. I don't want no coke. You can keep your ketamine. I'm a baseline junkie. I'm a baseline junkie. I'm a baseline junkie. And I like it funky.
I mean, this is annoying, but it's not actually damaging. Like, this is just Jet being an arsehole. This isn't actually worth much. $24 points. That was it. What the fuck's Jet doing down in the 300s? I was expecting like 50 from that. I mean, I get plus 1.6, 0.16 on the camel board, so that's something. Actually, you know what? Let's save that. Always save beating Jet. Now, I was trying Owl earlier today. I actually lost to Owl today. When I had Wolf, or was it Wolf, Badger. Couldn't believe it. There were just too many Falcons. Also, possibly something to do with James being the person controlling them. Well, that's a good start. Decreasing so hard, but the Owl will be fine next patch. I mean, last patch the Chameleons were worthless, and now they're the most powerful unit in the game, so yeah, could be. I'd expect good things coming from the Owl's next patch. Owls are going to have like double the health. They're going to be able to attack by themselves. The mice will explode into 3 mice when they die. Oh, Lucas. Okay, is the internet? Nope. Internet's still shitting itself. Okay. Apart from Squirrel, they're the most powerful unit. But they do counter Squirrel pretty well. Yeah, how do you make barbed wire not awful? There have been times where barbed wire has been seriously run. And Lego Man actually manages to use barbed wire fairly well. But he's basically the only player I know who does. God, owls dropping squirrels would be... Would that be better? Don't mice beat squirrels?
Yes, your should feel the advance.
Okay, lag. This is all on Lucas's end. His internet's been kind of shit for a while. So we're just going to have to push through it. I feel like he's got a better map than us. But there's no such thing as an even map against this guy. He is if you don't have the advantage, when you have an advantage, it's balanced against Lucas. It's pretty much the way it always ends up working out. Oh my god, Lucas! I'm well aware of how bad the lag is, believe me. Trust me, guys. I've noticed. I put down a snake warren. This is really actually quite bad. It's kind of ruining the music a bit. It's kind of doesn't quite match the epicness of the score. Is he doing a tier 3 rush? I think he's just doing his regular rush. I saw that. I saw that moving in the water. You can't fool me that easily. Fuck it, I'm putting Badger down. Oh, darn. If I can get this Badger out in a good spot. If. Okay, we're even on economy. He doesn't have a good Badger answer, which is rare for someone playing against me. We're taking losses on these engagements, but so long as we keep the Badger up with a decent quantity of backup, we should be fine. Now, does he have his own mines? We didn't see any. I'm stuck on a fucking tree! Let's get some rev up on these warrens. Yay! Woo! Have you not seen the Piranha videos? No, I have not. Anyway, we won. We badgered him. Wasn't expecting a win. Those are some nice juicy points. This guy, Jet, and Doohoo. Where's Doohoo on the leaderboard? He's like, hey, we're in the top 50 now. We're ranked 49. Yay. Doohoo's ranked 5. I wonder if we can beat. If we beat him, then we've beaten 3 people in the top 10. I feel like I should be taking moles here. I'm not sure. Doohoo went ferrets against me before, when we were right next to each other, and it ended up working out badly for me. I'm not keen on taking just Badger either, because Doohoo usually runs Fox and / or balloons. Yeah, people are pretty confident that toes need a buff. Although, I think Eris and I think possibly Doohoo still run them. Era still runs them. Not entirely sure why. And I think Colaru thinks that they're good. GG, Lucas. That was some heavy lag, but worked out in the end for me. But it's really, really good at killing stuff without even having stuff that's really, really good at killing it. What? Hey, Jacoby. Just in time for the boss fight. Not the real boss fight. I can't use that phrase now that we've actually got the boss duels going on, but kind of a boss fight. Is Doohoo like in the boss, like the 12 bosses thing? 12 duels? Feels like the type of thing he'd enjoy. Okay, well, we wasted enough time. Let's go back. We should have seen this coming. I did see this coming. Why didn't I plan for it? Who's winning? I think he might be. I'm not entirely sure. I think when I got my chameleons out, I'm in a good spot. Although I don't like the fact that they've taken so much damage. And I don't like the fact that they just blew up on mines. I really don't like that. I need to figure out a way to beat this fucking... I've never been good at beating this mine ferret deck. I'm losing so many tier 2s that he's not losing. Puts me in a rough spot. What's his economy like as well though? He's been putting down a lot of mines. It's actually better than mine. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, we're just getting too much. Anyway, what was this shit about Badger? Snakes. Do snakes actually work well against ferrets? I feel like they don't. But that's mainly from back in the non-slow days. Maybe they're different now. Not enough is good at killing it. That's bullshit. Plenty of stuff is good at killing badgers.
No joke.
Okay, all the stuff that's good against killing badgers. There's lizards, there's falcons, there's fox, there's snakes, there's fox, there's wolf, and there's balloon. Oh, and mines, and another badger. Like, how much more do you want? Yeah, and cams can kill badger fine. There are plenty of counters to badger in the game. Trust me, I come up against them a lot. There are more than enough counters for badger. It is one of the squishiest tier 3 units in the game. And considering, unlike Fox, it doesn't have Swift, or the ability to just stand on the back lines, it's like... It dies easily.
Yes, George should kill the eyeballs.
Yeah, it has the second most HP, but unlike... it's a frontline unit. The wolf can stay at the back, the owl can stay at the back, the fox can stay at the back. The badger actually has to be on the front lines. And when you're that big a target, 60 HP is suddenly not that much. Like, badger can get very easily overwhelmed. How many moles does it take to destroy a mill? This is probably enough.
Yes. Look. Squish out.
This is one of the weirder games I've played, but he's going to be starving, so we should win from here. Oh, hello, ho. Alright, we've got about... I was expecting that game to last a little bit longer. I don't know if we've got enough time before 10 o'clock, before to do another game. About 8 minutes. I should save that replay. That one was weird. It was pretty odd. Anyway, I think maybe we'll do one more game and then we get on to the duels. They were scheduled for 10 o'clock, so I don't want to start early. Got up to 45. Oh god, it's this guy. I mean, it feels weird, that victory. Because, on the one hand, now we've beaten 3 people in the top 10. We get a lot of points for beating Doohoo on the camel board, but on the other hand, was that Doohoo playing at his best? I mean, it did nearly kill me. Do you mean you lost to Doohoo doing the mole stuff or the Warren cheese? I mean the mill cheese, because I could see either of them failing. Man, what would I have done without moles though? I'd have to like rush squirrels or cans or something. I mean, rush snakes maybe? I wonder if that was his plan from the beginning, where he was like, I'm going to take turrets and go for a proxy mill, or if he just This is very unhelpful because there are no names attached to any of these pictures. Alright. Alright, fuck it. Fuck it, let's just get into the games. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to change the source over. Alright, let's start with Gabeney Eris. Alright, so we got Gabeney playing as the KSR. Squirrel, Pigeon, Mole, Falcon, Skunk, Fox. Against Eris with Skunk, Lizard, Pigeon, Falcon, Chameleon, Boar. So pretty meta from Eris. Slightly off meta from Gabeney. I mean, I think Gabeney's deck was meta back when Gabeney was playing. Pingu, this is like the warm-up for the Pingu's Grand Series. After we got one game of Eris and then it's Pingu all the way. Okay, so what's going to happen here? Gabeney probably has the worst map. This expansion's a little bit exposed. But I guess so is this one from Eris. This is a weird one. All the mills are on the same side, and it's about equidistant. I think it's easier for Eris to get up here and defend this. But basically, whoever holds this one high ground holds all the mills. So, both players are starting out pretty aggressively. They can't afford to really be greedy on this map. The slowest player is going to lose out. Deck-wise, I think Gabeney... I don't know, I feel like Gabeney's probably got this, deck-wise. Squirrel Mole tends to beat Squirrel Lizard. Falcons versus Falcons should go... He's got the Fox for the Falcons as well. Falcon v Falcon basically comes down to who gets more of them. And never mind, Eris is coming in. And Gabeney is not here to micro his units. In fact, Gabeney could be about to just lose here. He built all his warrens so far forward, and he was so far behind on building warrens that he was so far behind on units. I completely missed why he was so far behind on units, but he just lost all his warrens and his entire army. He's down to a pigeon. And Gabeney just surrenders. So, yeah, that was our warm-up. GG. I was sort of expecting that to go a bit longer. So how does this work then? I can now move Eris up one. Whoever Eris is. Does anyone know what Eris looks like? Is he the sand dog or the grey-faced child? I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, where are we doing now? Okay, so we've got Blue Coon versus Pingu. This is what everyone wants to see. The Pingu matchup. Let's go. He's grey-faced child. Sure. He's one to the right now. Alright, so what we got? Squirrel, Lizard, Falcon, Chameleon, Wolf, Mine against Squirrel, Pigeon, Falcon, Chameleon, Boar, Turret. I feel like turrets are seeing a lot more play in general. In this meta. Maybe because ferrets are out of the picture more. Although, speaking of ferrets, it's odd that Pingu isn't running them. He's been running ferrets in a lot of his decks. Odd that he'd cut them. Okay, so I think Blue Coon has it better here. he's got quite a few bases he can expand to pretty safely. Whereas Pingu's really only got this one. He might have this one, but it's pretty open to Blue Coon coming from this direction. I'm interested to see... I wish I knew how seriously Blue Coon was taking this. Because a lot of the times Blue Coon will get into tournaments and then just random his deck every time. Ends with 3 lives, followed by 2 lives, 1 life, and 0. Okay, right. So it's 71% to be 3 lives, and 20% to be 2 lives, and 5% to be 1 life, and 2% to be... It's 2% basically for Pingu to completely kill Blue Coon. Well, the MGs aren't for, like, holding it back boars. MGs are really useful for, like, holding your own position in the early game so you can get your own tier 3 out. Which I think is more the strategy behind them. Well, what's happening is both players have gone up to 8 farms, and Pingu is coming in with a whole bunch of squirrels. He's got more at the moment because Blue Coon went for his tier 2. And he is getting some Warren damage done, but this Chameleon is probably going to be able to clear it up. So he's killed 1 Warren. He got quite a few squirrels, but then traded squirrels. He didn't get any farms. He got a bit of damage, but nothing too severe. And the fact that Blue Coon has his tier 2 already is probably in his favour. That was a good timing by Pingu to attack while the tier 2 is building. So where do they go from here? Pingu's going for Falcons. They'll be alright against the Cams if they can survive, but Blue Coon's gonna be pretty sharp about focusing down the Falcons, and with the Chameleons just squashing the squirrels so quickly, I don't know if Pingu's gonna be able to focus down Blue Coon's squirrels fast enough. I think the Falcon versus Chameleon matchup tends to not work too well until later in the game when you've got other units that can deal with the Chameleons, or until you've got other units that can deal with the squirrels. But he's coming in. He's getting a lot of damage on the commander, and he does take down one of the Chameleons fast. He's got 1 Falcon still up, but yeah, the Chameleon just tanks so much damage that all the squirrels for Blue Coon sitting on the back line can just survive. And now Blue Coon's got lizards coming in as well. You get a very powerful Squizzard comp, and surprisingly Pingu just surrenders. I'll be honest, I was expecting him to fight that out a bit more, since he's only got 1 life and all, but he was probably done for. Unless Blue Coon really overextended. I mean, he had a Falcon coming up, and Falcons over Warrens aren't bad. But what do I know? Pingu's the one playing, not me. So Blue Coon gets around to Parzival with all 3 of his lives intact. Let's have a look at Cyril. Cyril is, yeah, that guy, the one with the name who I can't pronounce. He's a relatively new player, but not too shabby. He knows his way around a gristmill, if you know what I mean. Well, I can't pronounce Dr. Nialzmi Platek, so it's Cyril. Now, since Cyril is a relatively new player, I'm expecting Pingu to probably take at least 1 life here. But, you know, crazier stuff has happened. He's not got a bad deck. Well, actually, Cyril's deck is weird, actually, now that I look at it. Squirrel, Lizard, Falcon, Skunk, Badger, Machine Gun. Where are the pigeons? He's taken Badger with no pigeons. That is a odd choice. And Pingu's got the squirrel, pigeon, ferret, falcon, boar, turret deck. He's put his ferrets back in. He was running those in a lot of his other games, and they were doing relatively well for him. You know, a mixed bag, as ferrets aren't too great at the moment. I mean, I don't see... How does Cyril win this in a late game? Because Badger with no pigeons is rough. The Badger is guaranteed to take some damage tanking, like building up her rev. And once you've got the rev, you don't want to pull her back so she can heal. You want her to stay in the fight. I mean, he's got the Squirrel Lizard comp, which probably can run over Pingu's early to mid game. Everything up until the Boar is going to lose to a Squizzard deck. If Cyril can get enough of them. Pingu was looking like he wanted to put down his Boar Warren there, but decides against it and goes for Falcons instead. Map-wise, this is pretty even. In fact, you'd probably say it's in Cyril's favour, as these mills are a little further away, a little more awkwardly placed for Pingu. These two are pretty easy for Cyril to take. Badger is a very good unit, it's just usually people put it with something. Because it's got nothing to tank for it at the moment. And we need more songs. Songs have stopped working. Okay, songs are working again. Alright, so we're seeing an engagement come in just in time. Falcons are out for Pingu. Cyril is getting his own Falcons up. Pingu interestingly takes this base as well. I'm kind of confused as to why. I guess he's got the defences, so he just wants some extra territory. Cyril is slightly ahead on economy at the moment. This needs to get turned down a bit. Alright, is Cyril going to come in? He's risking a lot by letting Pingu have this high ground, especially when he's got turrets. And he's risking even more by putting his Badger Warren on the front lines. I mean, it should really be back here, nice and hidden. It's going to be very hard for Pingu to scout that, but Pingu already knows about it. And now this mill that's got up is doing so much tanking. Cyril's entire army is going down. And Cyril is floating 300 food. Now, some of that is going to be to get the Badger out in time, but I think he might be overdoing it. However, it is letting him reinforce pretty quickly, so that is something. He does manage to force Pingu back, but he might be chasing too hard. Oh, he needs to protect this Badger Warren. It's going to go down quickly. It's alive on such low HP. Oh, and if Pingu's commander goes down, then Cyril's actually got a really good chance here to come back. He takes this Warren, he takes this turret and the Warren, he reclaims the high ground. Now, the Badger is probably going to get out, but Cyril needs to be spending this food. And he needs to be moving over here! Oh my god! Defend the Badger Warren, it's so close to being done! And it goes down! Oh my god. Well, Pingu did lose a lot of stuff there. So Cyril could possibly just counterattack here. But he's deciding instead to... Well, maybe he can't counterattack. They're roughly even. Pingu's getting more army and has slightly more economy at the moment. But I think Cyril's not out of this just because Pingu sacrificed so much stuff to get his Badger Warren. And now fighting in range of this turret is going to do a lot of work for Cyril, but he needs to be focusing down this Falcon and protecting his own. He's not really doing that. He's not really focus firing at all. He is going to get it, but Now, rebuilding the Badger is an interesting choice. I'm not sure if it's the right one, especially because it's so supply blocked at the moment. And he's only on 5 farms. It's going to be very hard to get that together. He needs to sell a Falcon Warren. If he sold a Falcon Warren, that would be 120. He would actually have enough. That'd be 180 now that it's building. He could sell a Falcon Warren and get this Badger going. But without this Badger going, it's just a 180 hole in the ground when he's already behind. Now, the Squirrel Lizard comp has carried him, but he needs to not do this, which is try and kite. He needs to just move in. And he needs to focus fire these Falcons. He keeps moving. He just keeps letting his units take damage, but he does manage to clear it up, and he keeps the Falcons he keeps the Falcons alive at the very least, but he lost a lot of Lizards there. They didn't have to. And he's moving in, which I think is a very bad choice. Pingu's gonna be able to rebuild his army. I mean, to a certain extent, Cyril is gonna have to move in eventually. He actually got that Warren. The Lizard didn't die. He actually got that farm without losing anything, which is impressive. But he really needs to be selling. He really needs to be selling something at this point. Everything is supply blocked. There he goes. He finally sells the Falcon Warren. I think that's a good choice. Badger Warren is still built, even with that 180 hole in the ground. Cyril is holding. Now, he needs to go back onto his Warrens and hold this. He loses a squirrel early. He move in, not away. I don't like the way he's microing his units, where he just keeps dragging them through the fire. I feel like that's possibly the worst way he could be microing them. He needs to just focus fire these Falcons down. He's got the units to do it. The Squirrel Lizard comp is really good at taking down Squirrel Balls and Falcons. But he just drags his units back and forth. I'm sorry, that was maybe a bit too harsh of me. But he had it. And he still needs to sell. I think he really needs to sell. He needs to sell the Falcon Warren or the Badger Warren. He can't have both. It looks like he's going to sell the... Is he going to sell the Badger? He's thinking about it. He can't make up his mind. He pulls his squirrels back, but he doesn't pull them... Right, I think the deciding factor is definitely Pingu's better micro. Because there was relatively even on economy. In fact, it's very impressive Cyril was able to hold out as long as he did. Given that he only just now sells the Badger. Yeah, I'm Sorry, Cyril. Sorry if that was mean. I just... No, not rewatch. I just get, triggered. I'm very tiltable. Alright. Now, Cyril did nearly have that, so I'm hoping this second game will go better. Oh, and he's put pigeons in his deck. That's a good start. Taking out the squirrels. Yeah, it's painful because I was really rooting for you. Like, you were really the underdog in this matchup, and you were actually, like, so close to doing it. Pingu had so many failed attacks, and I feel like if you just had some proper micro, you could have done it. But your micro skills really let you down there. Because genuinely, having a supply blocked Badger for most of the game and still holding your own is actually, like, difficult. Alright, so same loadout from both players, except that Cyril is traded out squirrels for pigeons, which will go better with his badger. I don't think he really needs the squirrels. The lizards should be fine against everything Pingu's got. Now, something Cyril has to deal with is the fact that he's got a much worse pace. Well, it's worse in some ways. It's worse if it goes really long, because Pingu has so many more bases available to him. It's better for Cyril in the case that it's really hard for Pingu to attack up here, so it'll be very good for just getting a badger out. Yeah, it is there's a lot of open space, which is actually kind of good for lizards, but you usually don't see it. But I think Cyril's got a good base here for a certain playstyle. There we go. Get rid of the fucking mouse. If Cyril just plays as slightly greedy and puts up a couple of turrets here, then he can hold this point for a very long time. Now, the bad thing about turrets is that Pingu does have ferrets, so they'll be of limited use, but being on the high ground will certainly help. But I think Cyril should be going for a relatively quick badger in a position like this. But that could just be me. Hello, Pingu. We're watching some of your conquests tonight. This is now a Pingu stream. Okay, Cyril needs to move in here. He's got the lizards to do this. He needs to attack. He's attacking in the back, which should work out well. But he sacrificed a few lizards on the run back. Pingu's got a massive advantage here. I'm surprised the lizards did so bad. I guess he just had less. He had less lizards, and there were the falcons as well. The pigeons aren't too helpful here, I suppose, given that it's really the lizards don't have enough time to make use of their healing. Yeah, I think that was probably what set it back. Alright, well, that's something. Cyril manages to pick off a Warren while Pingu isn't paying attention. He could probably bring his lizards round here and actually get some damage done on the Warrens. Don't think he could, on the mill. I don't think he could kill the mill, but he could certainly get a couple of farms. Now, here's the problem. Pingu's gone for a boar. Pingu's pretty far ahead at this point, both on income and on army. I think what you do when you're behind is you sell a bunch of Warrens, you use all that cash to put down farms, and that can catch you up. I think he needs to do something like that. He's a little unfortunate that he's got lizards instead of squirrels, because squirrels are more defensive, but I think lizards still do fine against Pingu's army. Lizards should do better against Pingu's army than squirrels do, but squirrels would be better in a situation Cyril finds himself in. At least until this boar comes out. And Cyril hasn't scouted the boar yet, so he's going to be... situation, you sell everything, it's not lizards, and buy more lizard and more pig mills. That could work. If he sold the falcons for just more lizards, he could do a base trade or something. He still hasn't scouted this boar warren, and the boar's about to come out. I feel like he's about to put down a badger as well. Yep, there we go. Oh, Cyril. I'm so sorry this had to happen to you. Now, is he going to take the engagement or try and go for a base trade? I don't feel like a base trade would work. The map's not really long enough. You can't hide in the warrens from a boar, mate. You've got to go out. Okay, so as a learning experience, we're seeing a similar micro mistake where Cyril pushes in and then pulls back out and then tries to push in again. I think as a bit of constructive criticism is try not to do that, because you're just losing extra units in the run back and forth. You need to just commit to running or hiding. Alright, so that's 2 lives for Pingu. I'm hoping Cyril can get through. I'd like Cyril to at least beat one boss. Actually, what did I predict him as? I can't tell because my mouse doesn't work. There we go. Let's have a peek. Platek. Gentleman and Premium, as well as himself and me actually, have all predicted that we'll lose to Pingu. Haru predicted that he'd get all the way to me. Jet Erickson predicted that he'd die to Jet. Alright, well, let's see what happens. We're seeing some... This is some interesting warren placement. Usually you'd see them in the front. It's not always bad to keep them in the back. It does mean that they're more protected. It's just that it means that the squirrels aren't going to have the ability to warren tank. And Pingu is taking a very hidden base. I don't suppose... No, Platek hasn't scouted that. Yeah, the slower... I feel like this is alright for lizard warrens. For squirrels, it's quite a bit rougher. I mean, yeah, Pingu scouted them. Sometimes it's worth doing if it means your opponent doesn't manage to scout your warrens, or at least he doesn't manage to scout what tier 1 it is. But in general, I consider this to be more of a lizard strategy. He is moving up now, though, or as I say that, he sells his warrens, so maybe not. But as long as he gets down a warren or 2 here before the attack, it should be fine. Because it should be fine that he's built warrens here. He has got ahead on economy. I don't think he still hasn't... Yeah, he still hasn't scouted this bottom corner of the map. Are both players going Falcons? Pingu going more Falcons. Whereas Cyril's going for more farms. This could be it. If Cyril commits to the engagements and doesn't make the same micro mistakes, he could be in with a good shot here. He is being pretty greedy on these farms. I feel like Pingu's probably going to move when he's got four Falcons. As Pingu hasn't scouted this base actually. He might not know about it. Or he might just not care about it. Oh, ferrets. That gives Cyril more time, which is good. Cyril wants time when he's got a base like this. And I feel like with all the tier 1, and the falcons, the ferrets won't probably be doing that much for Pingu. And now badger coming out with pigeons supporting it. This is actually looking pretty good for Cyril. All these farms are now farming. Well, most of the farms he's built here are farming, so he's getting quite far ahead in economy. He is slightly behind on army at the moment, as Pingu comes in and does get the scout on the tier 3. Okay, and that's going to be the trigger for Pingu to move in. Now, how is Cyril going to take this? I reckon he just rallies all right in here. If he holds back against the ferrets, he's just going to get continuously picked off. He needs to move. And he's keeping his lizards back. He needs his lizards in. And he needs to be focusing down. He's killing the falcons. That's something. But he's not focus firing them. But he is holding this back. And with the badger building and the better economy, all he needs to do is trade relatively... All he needs to do is not die, basically. And then he will win the game. Because this badger's nearly built. He could do with some more pigeons. I feel like a badger's going to go down very quickly to all these falcons. So some more pigeons would be good. But he's finally got it out. He can put down some more food. He doesn't need to even push now. He's got enough. He's got a better economy and a better army. Well, not quite a better army. He's putting down tier 2 and then moving out, which I feel like is possibly a mistake. You really want to do... Like, tier 1 can reinforce in time, but it's very unlikely this fight is going to last a minute. Okay, now, these turrets are going to make things a bit difficult for Cyril. But Pingu is cut off from the map. So Cyril can just sort of start taking mills. And there's not much Pingu can do about it. But Cyril's moving in. He really needs to micro this badger carefully. It's at 22 HP. It just walks right up and it does go down. Yeah, that's not what you really want to see when you see a badger, Warren. When you see a badger coming down. It did get a fair few kills on falcons, so maybe it was worth it. Like on the chase there, the badger was able to shoot the falcons for quite a bit. But like the macro decisions are going fine for Cyril. It's basically coming down to micro. Oh, and is he gonna scout this base? No, he is not. And oh, Pingu uses this moment to come in. He can take this though. Pingu's behind in economy. Cyril's got the falcons down. I think Cyril might win this. His badger's on his way again. He needs just more tier 1. And now, ooh, what's he doing? He's selling his lizard warrens. That's interesting. I wonder why. He probably wants to put it into farms. Okay, he loses a building farm to Pingu moving in. His army's a little separated, but it's going to pick off a load of units on the retreat. Getting 2 falcons for 3 is no small deal. Now he can really chase down these ferrets. I don't know why he isn't. He's got a much bigger army. I think I'm just going to fast forward here because he's getting a second badger. Alright. And he still hasn't scouted this base. In fact, he hasn't scouted this one either. So, what does Pingu do from here? He's got a lot of food stored up. He's kept a starvation farm on his second base. I wonder if he got this farm, would the pig be able to shoot here? I want to know if the pigs... I don't think they're in range. No, because these pigs on the end would be shooting each other. So I wonder why he's keeping that. So Pingu has managed to secure another base that Cyril hasn't scouted. And it looks like Cyril's just moving his army in to pick off some warrens, but he moves back when he sees Pingu's army. He scouts a mill now. He's probably going to take this out pretty easily. Is Pingu going to move in? Pingu's moving in on the warrens. He wants to go for a base trade. I don't feel like that's a good decision, but it's probably better than engaging. Can he make this work? Because Pingu does have that secret base that Cyril never scouted. If Pingu can get this base, but he's going to get caught coming over the water and his entire army's going to die. Oh, his falcons are getting away actually. He could do this. I don't know if he's got enough time, but it's going to be closer than I thought. No, the army for Cyril catches up. And now Cyril's going to... Surely Cyril moves in at this point. He's got the second badger in like 5 seconds. Okay, he comes onto the warrens. He's going to destroy them all before they rebuild. Or Pingu's going to sell them. Can Pingu make this happen? He's got one squirrel. This is the KSR army at the moment. Right here. Let's keep an eye on it. His name is Dimitri. Let's see if he is able to make a miracle happen. Dimitri is dead. And so are his brothers. Looks like Cyril's managed to take it. Well, GG. It's good to see Cyril get through. Alright, I can actually move him up now because there are names. Alright. So who have we got next? We've got Duhu versus Pingu. F for Dimitri. It was a big ask. He was brave, he fought till the end, but it was just too much. Well, if Cyril had scouted, that hidden base would have gone down. 2 things Cyril needs to work on for his next, if he wants to get through to Mishi with his 1 life, is micro and scouting. The macro decisions weren't actually too bad, but scouting and micro, that's his homework. Anyway, we're seeing Pingu with the same deck, Squirrel, Pigeon, Ferret, Falcon, Boar, Turret, against a pretty similar deck from Duhu, Squirrel, Pigeon, Mole, Ferret, Badger, Turret. Some good Badger, a well-migrated Badger should basically beat Pingu's entire army. Apart from the Falcons, if Pingu can get up enough Falcons, then he can take a Badger. This... Oh, right, this is Duhu's base. I thought Duhu was building this Mole Warren right next to Pingu's Warren. But no, it looks like it's going relatively even. 8 farms, couple of Warrens. And the map looks fairly even as well. Both players have access to an easy second base. And then they've got to do some serious work to get third. Another very sparsely populated map. Now I wonder who's going to be the first to go for ferrets, because Duhu has been giving me hell with the ferrets on ladder recently. Who needs mines when you've got turrets? Oh, fuck! Fight coming in. But it's squirrel mole against squirrel, so the moles are definitely going to take this. And that's going to be a big blow for Pingu. Pingu's in a rough spot here. He needs something to do. He can't just out-squirrel Doohoo. He needs to do something else. Doohoo's getting ahead on farms. If I was Pingu, I'd consider just going for a boar at the moment. Oh, if he can catch these units while they're in the water, that might help him. He gets a decent surround on the moles. This fight is going much better, but I don't think it's going to go well enough. He's going to go for the Warrens, it looks like. Or maybe he's just going to retreat. I don't think he can really pressure this too much. He's behind too far an army. And he doesn't have the economy to keep making trades like this. Okay, Pingu's putting down more squirrels. He's committing to the aggro. He really... Oh, God. If he just got some ferrets, he could do so much damage to these Warrens, though. They're right on the front line. And with these turrets. Oh, God, Pingu. Of all the games to not go ferrets. Okay, Pingu gets a turret down. He kills the moles, but the moles just do so much tanking still. And Doohoo's still 3 farms ahead. And we're about to hit the 4-minute mark. Pingu's running out of time here. I think he's committed to the one base at this point. Oh, and speaking of tier 3s, here comes the badger for Doohoo. Okay, Pingu now chooses to expand, but I think it's too late. I think his only real option is to just commit to the all in. Okay, and we're seeing the same story. Pingu comes in with moles, but not only does Doohoo have the defender's advantage and Warren tanking, but he's got the moles that just tank so much damage that the squirrels can't do anything. He's trading at like a 3-to-1 ratio. And he's been doing that so many times in the game that... I mean, look at the army graph. Pingu's army is getting destroyed each time. Whereas Doohoo just keeps on getting up in economy. Easily rebuilds. And now all the Warrens for Pingu are down. And that was a GG. I mean, I think we were all expecting Doohoo to get past. We were hoping for an upset.
I'm not your girlfriend or the frightened princess. I'm not a little bird who needs your help to fly. No, I'm the bad guy.
I think we were hopeful. Did Bluecoon get past? Bluecoon got past, didn't he? Okay, we've done Eel. We're over to Haru now. Oh, you donated. Wait, really? To who? Oh shit! Thanks.
Oh my god. She's not trying to conquer the galaxies.
125.
She wants to destroy it.
And Solar Take is following. We're nearly at 90. Don't know what I'm going to do for 100, but I need to actually start planning it. Alright, I've got it up on... Does it come with a text? Sponsored by toothandtailmods.eu. That's true. We do have quite a few mods on this. Quite a few skins. I've kind of got used to them. Apologise in advance for this game. Spoilers. All the skins on here, by the way, were made by Lucas Nickus in the chat. Head over to toothandtailmods.eu if you want to pick them up. There are plenty of other mods there. There's one that makes Boar a unicorn, which is pretty cool. Especially since people are using the Boar a lot so these days. In fact, both players here have got the Boar. Squirrel, Lizard, Pigeon, Falcon, Chameleon, Boar from Haru, and Squirrel, Pigeon, Ferret, Falcon, Boar, Turret from Pingu. Donkey Kong Ferret. The Donkey Kong Ferret does look good, but I'm pretty attached to my Headless Ferret. I think there's also Diddy Kong Squirrels. Alright. So, Pingu's coming in, and this is a risky attack actually. Going over a small bridge, up the hill, through like a 2-child choke point, but he does get a farm. I don't know if that was worth it, but he gets a farm. I mean, Haru's going to rebuild it pretty quickly. I'm confused by that attack. I mean, it kind of worked, but that was a pretty significant army drop for Pingu. Although, actually, he could maybe attack now. He might have an opening here as Haru goes for 2 farms on his expansion. And with rebuilding this farm, that's basically 3 farms. Pingu has a significantly better army at the moment. He's coming in again. But this choke point is really screwing him up. His commander does stay alive. It looked like it was going to go down, but Hopper's staying around. And he can't decide whether to focus the squirrels or the pigs, and ends up killing neither. But what does happen... Oh, I thought this squirrel was going to get something done. This gorilla squirrel. Pingu is doing this the way the common folk always do their wars. They just send in a bunch of poor boys and hope that one of them can get the job done. But without the commander alive, the squirrels for Haru are able to abuse this high ground and pick off all the remainders. And now Haru is still ahead on economy. Haru has taken fewer losses in army, and Haru has built his tier 2. So Haru is definitely in the lead. I'm a little confused as to why Pingu won't just go up this side where there's more space. Why he keeps on insisting on going through the water. But I guess if he made it too easy for himself, this wouldn't be the 12 jewels, it would be the 1. So, you know, he's got to give people a chance. Where's Haru? Haru is predicted to... no one's predicting that Haru will lose to Pingu. I think some people are predicting he'll lose to Anzu. A couple of them. And then it's me and Jet. And there are a few people who think he'll go all the way. World War I. Where they're just sweeping... they've got all those units on the table and they're just sweeping it out. Did Pingu just do another attack? Pingu did another attack while I was busy checking the prediction sheet. And look how badly it went. I mean, you saw it, but that army graph tells a more... That army graph is more telling than any fight I could watch. I mean, this is... I don't know what Pingu's trying to get at. I mean, that attack apparently got this second pig, so there's something, but I mean, what was Pingu doing? Why was Pingu being so aggressive? Well, the ball comes down for Haru, and I think once that gets out, it's going to be GG. I don't see how Pingu can win. Pingu's behind in army, he's behind in eco, he's behind in everything. And by quite a significant margin. Because all these farms are now fallowing out on the initial base. But Haru's already got a fully saturated second. Because Haru runs out of ammo. I mean, that could legitimately be Pingu's strategy at this point. I think the best thing Pingu could do is maybe sell the Falcons to go up on farms quickly. And then try and get something done. Maybe try and catch up on economy. But he never scouted this boar warren. He's got to know it's coming. And I think that's what's prompting the attack here. But I don't know how this attack is going to work. As QQ just focuses... QQ isn't really focus firing. He's just moving all in because he's got such a bigger army. Maybe it did come down to the Haru having the quartermaster. Maybe Pingu can only play well when he's a KSR. So I think Pingu is going to lose this. Yeah, so does Pingu. Pingu also thinks Pingu is going to lose this. That's going to be Haru moving on up. I know Haru's icon just by looking at it. It's the Return of the Obra Dinn guy. He's like one of the first people you see, but one of the last ones to die. I forget his name. It's something like Samuel something. Something Samuel. Alright then. Pingu versus Lesnek. Has Pingu actually... Pingu got a couple of lives off Cyril, but Pingu hasn't actually managed to kill anybody this stream. I wonder if that's going to save. Alright, so it's Pingu against Lord and Saviour Snek, who does have snakes in his deck, so the name checks out, but will he use them? Squirrel, Pigeon, Chameleon, Snek, Boar, and Mine. Against Squirrel, Pigeon, Falcon, Chameleon, Boar, and Mine. A lot of unit diversity, as you can see. Players having 2 whole units difference between them. In all fairness, best of ones like this really don't encourage diversity or experimentation, because if the experiment fails, you lose. It really encourages just going with what's safe and what's familiar. So, does anyone know much about the Snake? I've got to be honest, I've seen his name popping up every now and again, but I don't really know much about the guy or girl. Well, he's got the snakes, so I'm on his side. I feel like snakes are pretty good at the moment. Snakes can actually deal with chameleons relatively well. They're one of the few units that can. They can hit falcons well, they can hit snakes well, and they can hit the boar well, and badger. They basically deal with all of the big units at the moment. But their pathing is so bad that you really need to micro them carefully. And I don't know if they are the best tier 2 rush at the moment. I think chameleons might have taken that. Although actually no, I think just 2 snakes will be able to beat 2 chameleons. I mean, you've always got to add the caveat that of unless they walk into a chameleon trap and get instantly squashed, but I feel like one warren of snakes basically deals with one warren of chameleons. Agile snakes would be so good. Oh, that might be a little bit broken. Maybe a little bit broken. Especially with the slowdown. Yeah, that would probably be pretty busted. I think they just need an increase in range, or just have their priority fixed. Revert the slow and give them agile. Now that would be interesting. Yeah, make snakes shoot while moving is what agile means. That is the agile ability. Oh, and Pingu's gone for his tier 3. Nice and early, but against these snakes and these cams, both of which, the cams can do alright against the boar, and the snakes can really go to town on it. It's going to come down to how many... I mean, it's going to come down to a few factors. Micro, obviously, but also how many pigeons Pingu gets. Alright. So, Snake has gone for its own tier 3. I feel like Lord and Saviour Snake would be better off having a badger than a boar with his deck. But that could just be because that's the deck I'd run. Snake cannot kill the falcons once he has dealt with the boar. Can't he? I mean, the squirrels, there'll probably be some squirrels still alive. And I'm expecting at least one snake to survive. And especially if Snake can get his own boar out, which is admittedly looking a little unlikely, as it's supply blocked. While Pingu's coming in, Pingu preparing for a base trade by taking both of these mills. Oh, what is Snake doing? What's he doing? He's moving out. Oh, he's going to lose this mill and most of these warrens, I think. He's not going to be able to rebuild his army. He needs to get these snake hits really on point. He possibly wants to get them on the falcons before he gets them on the boar. But there's a lot of poison on this boar. Okay, and the prediction came true. Snake dealt with the boar, but now he's got no way to kill the falcons. I feel like that wasn't guaranteed to happen. But Pingu's going to take game 1. Boar did a lot of damage. He got a lot of warrens. That was a good decision by Pingu to come in from the side. He also managed to avoid all of the mines that Snake had placed down. And we're not seeing any change in loadout from either player. Badger is agile, the fox is swift. It's very hard to fire a sniper rifle while running. Like a minigun, if you're big enough to actually carry it, I mean, is presumably much easier. I'm talking like I've actually fired where it needs to go. Generally, it works pretty poorly. Now, the one thing map-wise Snake has going for him is that it's going to be hard for Pingu to take this mill. So Pingu's basically on a 2 mil base. Oh shoot. Okay, so we see there that Snake had the better army, but chameleons just get right into the skunks and destroy them. However, maybe we're not seeing that at all. Maybe we're seeing that chameleons can trade well with the skunk, because not only do they tank, but they take down some of the tier 1 as well. And now Pingu is starting to lose warrens. Another chameleon comes out and forces the retreat, but Snake did manage to get some damage done. Now Pingu is ahead in economy, just slightly, so he'll be able to rebuild, but Snake is got to be feeling relatively good about that. Is this the comeback? Is this the beginning of the Snake miracle? Because dinos did evolve into snakes, you know, so maybe we're going to see that happen where Snake becomes the new dino. Because a lot of these squirrels go down, so now it's just these chameleons that do get behind the army, but he then pulls them forward to attack the skunks that are basically out of the fight. Now Snake then decides to go for the mill instead of any of the units, or retreat, which I feel works against him, but still, he is coming off these fights the better, slightly. In fact, actually, according to the army graph, he's actually losing these fights. He actually lost that fight, which I didn't expect. Oh, are we going to see a base trade? I feel like Snake wins this, or unless this mill goes up. Snake's, the bases for Pingu are closer together. Now, is this base going to go up, or is this base going to go down? No, focus the mill, focus the mill! We got to zoom out, and Snake takes it! Ah, Snake. Pingu stays deathless. He's got some lives, but he's not forced anyone into the underworld yet. Snake manages to clutch it out at the very end. Alright. Moving on, we've still got 5 left to go. 5 challengers left. So let's try Lego Man. Ooh, and he's stolen the KSR from Pingu. Right off the bat, Pingu's at a disadvantage. Okay, so Lego Man has an interesting deck. Squirrel, Pigeon, Falcon, Snake, Wolf, and Barbed Wire. Not a lot of people run Wolf, and even fewer people run Barbed Wire. So this is going to be interesting to see how it works against, you know, competitive level players. Pingu is playing Civilized, but which normally would be an advantage, but you know, I don't think it works. You have to actually be a righteous person for Civilized to aid you, which I don't think Pingu qualifies. He's too into murder and drugs. He likes killing people, he likes taking drugs, and generally those are frowned upon. Alright, so mill-wise, Lego Man's in a bit of a sticky situation. He's got this mill, which is nice and hidden, I suppose. It's going to be hard for Pingu to scout it, but Pingu can come over here the water with his falcons and do some damage to it. Something Lego Man does have is that it's going to be very hard for Pingu to actually attack him. If Lego Man just puts some barbed wire on this hill, he can hold this choke point with only a few units. Where are people predicting Lego to end up, actually? Because he could come... I could see him... We've got Gabe and he predicting that Pingu will beat him. A lot of people are predicting he'll get to sort of 6 or 7. A few 4 and 5s there, a couple of 8 or 9s. So around 7. But Gabe and he predicting that he'll die here and now. Alright, so we're seeing the snakes come out for Lego Man. Now, I've played Lego Man a lot, and I've talked with him about his playstyle quite a bit. I know that he likes going a couple of squirrels into snakes and barbed wire, and he does it all so he can secure... It makes it basically impossible to punish his wolf. So I'm expecting a wolf to come out pretty soon from him. In fact, I'm surprised he's going up to 4 snakes. 4 snakes are going to have double the pathing issues as they fight each other for tiles, especially in this choke point. Alright. Oh, fuck. Lego Man's trying to do some poking with the snakes. He's going to get some squirrels, but he loses a snake, so not really to his advantage. He does have a couple of extra farms, but that doesn't mean he can just afford to lose 60 food like that. And he's shoving my predictions where the sun don't shine by going for double falcons rather than wolf. This was surprising to me. Okay, now these snakes are going to make it virtually impossible for Pingu to scout. Snakes are one of the best units for killing commanders. A snake falcon is just like basically a guaranteed death. Lego Man is staying ahead in economy, but he's down really low on tier 1, whereas Pingu is going for 27 squirrels, which will do really well against this snake falcon army. I worry that Lego Man might be going a bit too hard on the income. Lego Man might be being a bit too greedy, and anyone who's seen my stream before knows that it takes a lot of greed for me to say that. Lego Man really needs more tier 1. He needs something to hold the front line. He's going for more falcons. He needs squirrels. Alright. The army's not too different, but Pingu feels like he's going to come in. And Lego Man's losing a very quick falcon. He's trying to use warrens for tanking, but the ferrets go through warrens like butter. He finally is managing to clear up the army, but he's losing so many tier 2 units. I don't think this is worth it, even with his better economy. Now he gets his own tier 2. It's going to take Pingu, so Pingu's going to be able to rebuild so quickly though. I don't think Lego Man has this. He's still only got 6 squirrels. The snakes and falcons can't deal with this many squirrels. He's trying, God bless him, but it's just not... The snake... Oh, the snake nearly got away. Doesn't quite, because 0 cast time squirrels were put into the game. So we're seeing some pretty decent snake micro. They are picking off a lot of tier 1 units. And Lego Man does have the economic lead, but I don't think he's got enough of a lead to be able to trade like this. I think Pingu's got at least one more big attack in him. But Lego Man's finally going for squirrels now. If he can get up a few more squirrels, and by few I mean 6, then he might be in a good spot. But he's moving out! He really should not be moving out. I don't think this is a good decision. He needs the defender's advantage. He is going to get some poking done with his snake. The snake manages to pick off a few squirrels, but it gets stuck in the barbed wire. Oh, it gets away with 2 HP, and this barbed wire does so much damage. It kills so many squirrels. Oh, Lego Man's holding on. I genuinely don't know who's going to win this, but I think Lego Man just turned the corner. But he's coming back in again, and I don't think this is a good decision. If he can pick off these squirrels, he can get the ferrets. He really wants the ferrets, and he does get one. And I don't think Pingu has enough to kill these falcons anymore. Is he going to sell the ferrets? Yeah, he sells the ferrets. He's just going to go in all in on the squirrels. That was a real... Oh, that's some good barbed wire. And now Pingu's just forcing his way through this choke point. Oh, this is a tight game. Lego Man's trying to get up more barbed wire, but I don't think it's going to work. It will get some tanking done, which is something. And one of them does go up. Pingu is losing his army very quickly, and now a falcon is out, and a second falcon's on its way. Lego Man has double the economy. I think the economy difference is starting to really add up for Lego Man. I think Pingu is really running low. He doesn't even have as much tier 1 as Pingu does anymore. Okay, now he does get Pingu while he's in a choke point and in the water. He manages to pick up quite a few units. If he picks off the falcons, he's in a decent spot again suddenly. But no, he micros away from the squirrels too fast. That was actually a decent engagement from Pingu, but it looks like Pingu's doing the give up scout, which is where you go and scout your opponent's base to see how close you were to winning. Which is odd, because I don't think he was out of it. If he sold a squirrel one, these falcons were pretty low HP, and there's a long run reinforcement time. Alright. Lego Man, through some good barbed wire and some greed, manages to pull it out. It was a close one. Pingu came within a hair's breadth of breaking him several times in a row, but he makes it through. And I should probably update the thingamajigo. Where'd I put that? The 12 jewels. Oh, I forgot to put Snake on there. So let's put Snake where he belongs. Parzival with 1 life, and then we've got Lego Man with all 3 of his lives. Alright, now it's time for Skeleton, who I'm pretty sure is another new player. So Pingu's got a good chance here. I think Pingu's definitely the favoured. Is Pingu going to get any deaths tonight? I'm not sure. Because I'm looking at the lineup he's got coming his way, and it's not easy. Is Skeleton not a new player? He's old? Alright, fair enough. Shows what I know. Really? He's that old? Skeleton was apparently around when Gentleman was a noob. And that's like when single-celled organisms were, you know, floating around in primordial soup type of old. It's old. Alright. Well, I don't think anything's going to happen for a bit, so I'm going to have a biscuit while we all just look at this map. And we wonder who's favoured. Although it's definitely Skeleton. Actually, it's not Skeleton, is it? Skeleton is completely blocked off from these 3 mills. So as long as Pingu can hold somewhere around here, which he's got the defenses to do, he can really block Skeleton from expanding. Skeleton's still got this mill, and you can get a lot done with owls on 2 mills, but it's going to be tough. And Skeleton's doing a lizard rush, which I feel like is not going to work. And it doesn't work. That went exactly how I expected it to go. Yeah, we need some Sans music. We need some Bone Trousel or Megalovania if we've got Skeleton going. Alright, so Skeleton's going up for double tier 2. Skeleton's actually quite vulnerable at the moment. I haven't talked about loadouts. Pingu's using the same loadout we've seen him use most of the night. He's occasionally swapped out ferrets and falcons, but he's going with the falcon version, the falcon variant this time. Skeleton, however, lizard, pigeon, falcon, chameleon, snake, owl. Interesting in that there's no squirrel. I kind of like that in this meta. No squirrel decks have become a lot more viable. Not because squirrels have got worse, but because with the toad nerf, lizards have got a lot better. Although lizards are kept very firmly in check by chameleons.
Make your ears feast to the flavor of the acoustic sound.
Now, I think Skeleton's so old he doesn't know about campfires, because there is no reason to not take this, I feel. Or at least to, like, destroy it, so your reinforcements aren't going to get poked. He's taking this one down, which was out of his way. Is he going to get this mill? I doubt it. He's going to lose his army here. Or, the mill goes down. He does lose a decent chunk, and he's going to lose that snake and possibly the falcon. Maybe not. He goes over the water, so the... Oh! He went over the water to try and slow down the squirrels chasing him. But Pingu, being the clever clogs that he is, just stayed on the road. Flying units will move faster than regular speed. Ferrets have the... Flying units have the advantage over water because they don't get the slowdown, but they don't get the speed bonus from roads either, so ground-based units get the advantage there, and Pingu use that quite well. Now, Skeleton did lose a lot of tier 2 there, but you'd think he's going to accept that for getting a mill. Now, something I completely missed was this boar warren, and I missed that, like, until it came out. So let's see if the Falcon Chameleon... I feel like this should go in Skeleton's favour with the snakes, the chameleons and the falcons. He should be able to take down the boar. But his snakes die, his chameleons die. He's got one snake left. Is that going to be enough? He needs to get rid of these squirrels, because Pingu can do a lot of damage. He gets rid of the squirrels. He's getting some poison on the boar, so the boar can't run away from this falcon. And the snake can just stand in the fire all day with these pigeons healing it. The boar bomb gets some damage on the chameleon, but the chameleon tanks it. And now Pingu's in a rough spot. Now I feel like Pingu's about to lose his base again. He's certainly going to lose these farms. Pingu has sold the tier 3 warren. Pingu interestingly took 2 mills, which is you know, a bit of an odd choice. Did I just blank out? Did I just black out for like 3 minutes in this game? Because I saw the mill destroyed. I saw this mill get destroyed, and then Pingu suddenly has this other base. He got this one back with 4 farms on it, and he had a fucking tier 3 boar coming out. Like, I don't remember any of that. What the fuck was I looking at? Alright, well, Skeleton's gonna take it. Skeleton showing that sometimes the old ways work best. Tier 2s really do go through the boar quite effectively. It's why I don't think the boar is as powerful as everyone says it is at the moment, even though it is quite strong. Is that the clock tower theme? Yes, it is. Alright, so now we've got... Who was that? That was Skeleton, who gets through unscathed. There's still quite a few people here. Araloo... Oh, Araloo's in the underworld. Pyle's in the... Okay, this is the underworld. Oh, I get it. Alright, so Split versus Pingu. In the last 3, can Pingu get a kill? Can he confirm the kill? You got a double tap. He's got the KSR, so that's good for him. Split hasn't managed to steal it. Split going with Squirrel, Lizard, Falcon, Chameleon, Snake, Wolf. Not bad. Good amount of tier 2 with the Wolf. Always works well. Looking at the map, this is probably in Split's favour. Pingu has to expand fairly aggressively to get... Well, I guess he can take this mill fairly easily. But all this water around makes both defending and attacking pretty hard. I feel like Split's definitely going to have an easier time defending this. But Pingu can just go for this bill, this mace, and this base or mill. Whoops. Sorry, bunny. Are the next like 5 song requests all going to be like skeleton songs? I mean, I don't feel like we've got... I mean, does anyone have any penguin songs for Pingu? I am casting the game! Stop giving me shit, Pancakes, Jesus! I talk about one other thing for like 2 seconds. They're not doing anything, they're just standing there and getting tier 2s out. There's nothing to fucking cast at the moment. Jesus. Right, well finally, someone goes for an expansion. Split looks like he might want to go for a tier 3. But, no, he just decides to go for tier 1 instead. I mean, I feel like Split has this if it gets to a tier 3 point. Snake, Chameleon, Falcon can beat a boar in a variety of combinations. And Split has expanded quicker. Pingu does have the Falcons, which will do well in the water. Or, you know, not in the water, as the case may be. But he's also got to attack up this high ground. He's got the vision though. And he does have a slightly larger army. He gets the snakes down. But he loses his falcons and he loses the rest of his tier 1. Split looked like he might push this. So that was definitely worse off for Pingu. As Pingu was 2 farms behind. Split puts down his Wolf Warren in a really safe position. I don't think Pingu's even going to be able to scout this, let alone attack it. I don't think Split needs the pigeons with all of these tier 2. I think he should be fine. He's just going for DPS over, you know, survivability. You know, if you, like, the pigeons heal, like, what, 1 per second? If you can kill a unit quickly enough, if you kill a squirrel, then you've basically healed, like, 3 HP per second. Because that's how much a squirrel's going to be doing, right? So, if you just kill the enemy fast enough, you've essentially healed for all of the damage they would have done to you. I mean, against the boar, yeah, it's a bit harder. But I think with the wolf, like, double stacking the... Like, the wolves on the snakes will get the stacks on the boar so quickly that I feel like the boar isn't going to be really around long enough for that to matter. Is it 2 per second, or is it 3? I guess it's 2. Pancakes doesn't play the game, but he does know a lot about it. Okay, so boar is coming out for Pingu, but is it going to be out in time? This Split's already got his wolf out. The boar's not far off. Needs like an extra 10 seconds, but these buffed up chameleons. In fact, Split is actually very vulnerable to the boar right now. I think Pingu doesn't want to engage. Pingu wants the boar out because the boar's going to chew through so much of this army. Okay, the chameleons go down, and now it's just a matter of tier 1. Did Split never scouted that boar. And this wolf is going to get caught out by the falcons because it has to travel through the water. I think Pingu's going to take this after being behind most of the game in army and in income, just through the sheer power of the boar, and due to the fact that Split didn't go for any tier 2 other than the chameleons. It looks like Split wants to do a base trade. He's got the bases set up for it, and he does have the wolf, which will let him go over there quite quickly. Pingu is building a mill here. He's aware that it's an issue. How are the pigs going to do? This mill's going down pretty quickly, but... actually... Okay, this mill's about to go up. So, Pingu is starving, but he does have enough food to build a few more mills. All of the warrens for Split are gone. Does Pingu not know about this base? He does. He's just not going for it. Okay, if Pingu can force an engagement here, and he's in a good spot, Split is in a tricky position where he needs to go around the army of Pingu. And even with this wolf buff, like having to take a longer route, how the hell is Split able to build out here? I guess because he had this warren, this mill still. That's a long way for the warren territory to expand. So, Split is trying to get out some snakes. Is Pingu actually going to go destroy this base? He's worried about, like, this not being protected, but he could just take over his squirrels, or... Okay, he's just taking over his boar. But he's not left his falcon to guard this. He's just, like, Pingu... Like, Split could actually come in and clear this up, because only the squirrels are guarding it at the moment. And this boar nearly dies to the fucking pigs. Holy crap. I mean, nearly dies. It has 33 HP, but still, that's quite a lot of damage it just took. Okay, so what's the mill score at the moment? Split's really far behind in economy, and he doesn't have anything he can sell. He is coming in from behind. and it's going to take Pingu forever to get this campfire. So, Pingu's in, Split's still in with a shot, especially as this mill goes down. Especially as Pingu puts another farm on the mill that is about to die. And then he surrenders. Why did he surrender? Why'd he give up? Pingu, what the hell? Oh, he died. Oh shit. Well done, Split. I really thought Pingu had that. I thought Pingu had another meal somewhere. But I guess not. Bad caster. Alright. So, Pingu versus a child. Wolf Buff Poison does quite a lot of damage. Alright, Pingu rocking the Badger instead of the Boar. And Child. Good player, very aggressive. Go in. Squirrel Lizard, Pigeon Mole, Chameleon Boar. I feel like Pingu should have this if he can get the Badger out. But getting out a tier 3 against Child is quite difficult. You'll usually win if you can do it, but Child is very tier 3 adverse. Oh, that's what it was. It was a Pingu song. Newt Newt. Alright, so Pingu's got a fairly defendable base. Child likes doing his lizard run-bys, which are going to be, you know, with this cabin and this water in the way, Pingu's going to have time to respond. Neither player's really starved on mills. This could go to a long game, but both players are so aggressive, I don't see that happening. And Child is really struggling to get past this cabin. Okay. So, Child coming in with the lizards. He's going to get a turret, which, you know... Oh no! Pingu sells it. Pingu sells it for 1 food. Gotta save that value where you can. Alright, Child has finally managed to get down this cabin. So he's getting his tier 1 count up. That was a very stubborn pig in that cabin. Now, Pingu needs to get back. Oh, no! No, Pingu! No, Child, not the cabins! You're not good at cabins! Alright, well, apparently he'd learned from the last one. He manages to take out that cabin without too much difficulty. But, God, he left himself wide open there. That could have gone really bad. It is interesting why Pingu would see all of this tier 1 and decide that ferrets are the way to go. I mean, these lizards are now so large that they can just run in and suicide on farms. But, I mean, the ferrets are now going to be able to get off some warren hits, which isn't nothing. Well, it's not a lot, but it's something. Alright, Child's going to move in. He's looking for... He gets right on the ferrets. Holy crap. And with his moles right in the middle. Oh my god, I think this is GG here. The squirrels and moles on the mills while the lizards take down the warrens. I feel like this has got to be GG. Why would Pingu go ferrets and falcons against mass tier 1? That was an odd choice. I mean, against Child, you've always got to take AoE. Child is the most aggressive player I know. Easily. It's not even close to anyone else. Alright, so Pingu has one more chance to get a kill. And it's against this guy. Who, for the record, let's have a quick look at where this guy is predicted to end up. Okay, 11 plus 11 plus 11 plus 11 plus 11 plus 10, 11 plus 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 2, 11 plus 10, 7. So, and the 7 is Jet predicting that he'll win because that's been all his predictions. So yeah, this guy, one of the favoured to win. So if Pingu can get this, it's going to be a major upset. Alright, I'd be impressed if Pingu can take a single game right here. This guy going with this boar deck. Squirrel, pigeon, mole, falcon, skunk, boar. And Pingu going with the Pingu ferret deck. I don't know, it's not as catchy, is it? The Ferretu deck? I don't know. It's just a deck with ferrets in it. It's not that special. It's not that distinctive. And this guy's got a fairly good map. Both these mills for him are on the high ground. He'll have an easy time defending them. If he decides to defend, you're really predicting with this guy that he's going to attack. This guy's typical playstyle is to go something like squirrel, pigeon, mole, skunk, and then push on like the 3 or 4 minute mark. It doesn't work as well as it used to, as skunks and moles got a nerf, but they're still pretty solid, and they make warren tanking really, really bad. I think the ferrets in particular are really going to be a dead weight for Pingu. He's going for falcons, which can do alright. The skunks and the moles both die to falcons. If you get the falcons and manage to just focus down the squirrels for this guy, he doesn't have a lot of stuff that shoots up. He's only got the squirrels and falcons in his deck, so falcons do work well if you can keep them alive. This is the last matchup. This is the last one for tonight. And it's whether or not Pingu can take down the favourite. Twice against Platek and twice against Snake. Yeah, I think that's it. This is going to be Pingu's final hurrah. Can he go out on a high? If he manages to kill this guy, if he manages to take any lives off him, it will be a serious victory. It's looking like this guy's about to move in, which means this sell and replace from Pingu is going to backfire horrifically. And so is buying this mill. Yeah, he's moving in. Pingu needs to get his army together. He's given up the high ground already. And Pingu's just moving straight in, but then he walks back through the gas. Why? Well, I mean, he got the skunk. He got one skunk, which is a good start, but he's trying to attack now with 2 falcons and 3 squirrels. He's got no army at the moment. But floating over the warrens, the falcon is able to get a lot of these units down. Pingu's actually holding here, and he's got more falcons coming up. These falcons are doing a lot of work. He really should be focusing down the squirrels, I feel. But he's doing the classic mistake of moving your units forward in the gas and then moving units backwards through the gas, which means they're essentially taking double damage. Alright, so the mill goes down for Pingu. Focus fire the squirrels. Ignore the skunks. Kill the squirrels. He's not ignoring the skunks. He's focus firing the skunks, and that's the wrong thing to shoot. But the squirrels are finally starting to go down. This falcon is staying alive. The skunk goes down. This falcon just goes down. And now there's just so many... There are 2 pigeons keeping these squirrels alive. And Pingu lost a warren. Pingu is definitely on the back foot here, but he's not out yet. But this falcon's going to go down again. Oh, Pingu's just getting overwhelmed here. He can't get the kill on any units with these pigeons. Just a couple of pigeons healing up the squirrels means that Pingu can never get enough mass to actually kill them. And that's going to be GG. If Pingu had an extra, like, 10 seconds to build another falcon, when he put that falcon warren down, this guy knew he had timing to move in, and he just snowballed from there. Alright. Well, to the surprise of not many people, this guy manages to go through. So, in the underworld, we've got Spider, Pile, Moose, Ziggy, Araloo, and Child. No, not Child. Not Child. Child 1. I just forgot to move him. So we got Araloo, Ziggy. Hang on. Let me just change this over. We've got Araloo. They're a bit annoyingly placed. You can't actually see them too well. Araloo, Ziggy, Moose, Pile, and Spider are all sitting in the underworld. So, did Ziggy die? So, it looks like Pingu actually did manage to kill 5 people. I didn't know Ziggy died. Did Ziggy die, or did he just not get moved up? Ziggy died. Okay. This is a site Master Stealth made to track the scores of all the players. So, Parzival has got a lot of... Parzival's got a lot of games coming up. Well, he's probably already had a fair few of them. There will? Okay, yeah. Apparently tomorrow I will be doing another stream. I forgot I'd agreed to that, but that's fine. I can still do that. Alright, so I'll be looking forward to seeing how these are going to do. I'm not sure why Pile is up here, because Pile's dead. I don't know what happened. What happened? Why is Pile here twice? Why is he upside down? I don't understand. No, what? Why? What's going on? Right, fuck it. Master Stealth, you sort that out. Alright. Fuck it. Pile's being weird. Whatever. I'm possibly going to play a couple of games, and then tomorrow we will do the rest of the 12 duels. Well, not all of the 12 duels, but some of them. I'm going to stop messing around with this website before I mess it up even more. Alright, well everybody, have a good night. Thank you for coming, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you tomorrow. I'll do a couple of more games if I can find anyone. If the only person I can find is this guy, then I might have to give up just for the lag reasons, but I'll do some more. I'll do some games. Am I a massive idiot if I decide to take Toads here? I think I might be. Alright, so good night everybody who wants to go. Anyone wants to stay, you're more than welcome. I did stream Pion and Ziggy's deaths. I just completely forgot about Ziggy. Which, you know, feels bad. But, in all fairness, I've had a lot on my mind, so I can't remember everything. Even a brain as big as mine has its limits. That actually went by relatively quickly. I was expecting it to take a lot longer with all those deaths, with all those games, but since we haven't reached the 3-hour mark yet, which is usually what I stream to, I'll do a few more. Do a couple more games. See if I can get a win against this guy. I'm not complaining, gent. I'm not complaining that I didn't have enough time. I'm just saying it took less than I thought. You know, I think we all expected those to go a bit longer, but Pingu kept on dying. Pingu kept on losing. It's not your fault. It's not your fault he disappointed everyone. And this is a really defensive choke point. Yeah, if Pingu had just taken a few more games, we would have had loads of time filled up. But he had to go and lose. Like an absolute wimp. That's the one I'm going to take. Now, does he have a tier 3 building? I expect he does somewhere. The duels would be a lot simpler if Duhu and this guy had died. I'd be feeling a lot safer. Duhu's been kicking my ass recently, and this guy is, you know, this guy. So he's fucking scary, as per usual. Bugger. Well, that's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but it's okay. I can deal with it. Hey, his thing was already broken. It was broken when I found it. Okay, this guy is gonna have to push in sometime now. He can't let me just sit back and get a badger wolf up. I cannot see what the fuck is going on. I need food. Come on, Badger boy! Girl! We did it! We're not out of this yet! We might be out of this. Damn it. I just needed more pigeons. If I'd had a couple more extra pigeons, I could have done it. GG. We're actually pretty close, relatively close in army value. It's possible maybe I could have just pushed in, but my badger, I wanted to get my badger healed up. Maybe that was a mistake. Flesh 420, I think he's relatively new, but I've seen him before. What? Yeah, more duels tomorrow. I think some of yours, like going up to Gabony as well. And those will be at a normal time because because it's Saturday, the Americans should be awake anyway. It'll be 7 PM here, which is like 2 in EDT and 3 in UCT, if anyone uses those.
Yes, throat should kill the young boys.
This guy is on ladder. This guy is definitely on ladder. He's usually at the top of it. GOG is good old games. It's like a different system. 7 PM GMT. It's basically the normal time I stream. Give or take half an hour. Are you not in the top 10 right now?
Yes, George.
Thought you were.
Something blocks me, and I'm asking myself why did I take the step I wanted? Was it just a state of mind? I feel sorry for myself every time I close my eyes, and I fall into a hole, and I can take no more.
What is this guy doing? Why does he have lizards and no... Where are the rest of his warrens and food? Damn it, lost my chameleon. But it's fine, we've got another one coming. Yeah, this guy is on the ladder. He's right there. He's right... There are only 2 people. There's me and there's this guy. He is very, very definitely on the ladder. I should check if James is... I should check the top 10 actually. See where everyone is. Have a quick peek. Right, you have to wait until this game resolves itself. And keep reminding me. hate it when the map is split like this. I'm never sure where to go. Taking a gamble here with that greed. Has he gone for tier 2? Yeah, he has. Not what I really wanted to see. Gotta resist my urge to keep on putting farms down, because he will punish that. Okay, need 30 seconds. He's not giving me 30 seconds. Okay, we held. Ooh. That's big. Holding there is a big fucking deal. And the commander going down again is really fucking big. Okay, I think we're in a really good spot here. Our greed is paying off. I don't know if we want to attack. I do feel confident enough to go for a badger. God damn it, why do you get so many fucking mills down? Maybe we should have attacked. I think he probably sold a woman or two. We're being too aggressive here, we've overextended slightly. not getting this badger out. This is a close game, somehow. Oh shit, he went right for the snakes. We got fucking annihilated right there. It's a fucking badger. I tried to go for the badger and that fucked us. I should have just gone for more tier 2. But he was already starting to fallow on these farms. I don't think he ever took an extra. Yeah, he never took an extra base. We just kept on holding. Like, the badger would have worked if we could get it out, but he was putting us under so much pressure. GG. Man, how do your army keep getting so fucking high? Only like 6. I didn't push. Doohoo, I didn't push. He pushed on me. Onyx, you are ahead of James. Blue Coon's number 3, which I didn't expect. And this guy is on... Now he's in the top 10. I'm all the way down at 23. Alright, one more game. There was a moment where I overextended. But that's a very thin margin for the game to be lost on. I've actually fallen out of the top 50 now on the camel board. I'm 0.01 points out of it. Currently ranked 51. I overextended. I mean, that game was... I feel like I should probably go save that game. Like, I've got a lot of replays against this guy, but I feel like that's an important one to learn from. Because there was a moment, I think, where I could have pushed, where I didn't. And a moment where I did push, but shouldn't have. Alright, let's see if we can get one more game. Hey, it's Igor. I know them. Sometimes it's useful to learn from. I don't do as much as I used to. I've got some more Igor on here. Where'd I leave them? I forget the name of their song, the song that I really like. Cheval. With a fucking accordion. It is one of the better accordion songs around. Okay, are we gonna get anyone? Is everyone off? I mean, I feel like it's a good way to spot mistakes. You know, hindsight is 20/20 and all that. You know, I actually quite enjoy this meta. I know people think chameleons are so dominant, and they are, like, maybe a little, but I feel like in this meta, I can take, like, a much wider variety of units and not feel handicapped. Like, I'm even considering taking toads again, and just because there's, like, against certain people, they seem like they would be good. People who run moles, like this guy. I think toads need a buff and chameleons. See, I wonder if you buff toads, would that be enough to, like, nerf chameleons? Because, I mean, this guy and I have both been winning, like, fighting without chameleons, and the games have been close. And we've both been able to win without them. I feel like chameleons aren't as broken as people think they are. Like, they only need a slight nerf, and honestly, making it so toads do a lot of single target damage, so they can counter, so that there's like a definite chameleon counter in the meta, might just be enough. No, if you made chameleon, if you made toads, like, it would depend how you buff the toads. But if you made toads like do a lot of single target damage, that would make chameleons less prevalent because they'd be like, you'd have like a definite counter. Because toads have been a counter to chameleons and chameleons have been a counter to toads before, and it depends on how much. It depends on the values of like the health the chameleons have and how much single target damage the toads do. At the moment, because toads do no single target damage, chameleons counter toads. If you were to buff the single target damage, though, could be the other way around. Yeah, exactly. It used to be the opposite. It used to be that toads could counter cams. And I don't just mean last patch where everything countered cams. I mean there have been several metas where toads get countered by cams. You know what, I feel like this is a bad idea. We're going one base all in. He's about to move in. Got to be ready. Do I ever play random? Yes, when I get bored. Like if I've gone through the meta enough that I get bored, I go for random decks. But at the moment, I find this meta interesting enough, and I'm actually, you know, trying to, because the 12 duels are on and stuff, and because I don't have all the points I used to, I'm actually being a bit of a tryhard and going for like serious points, or at least trying to. Now, the biggest problem is we're so far behind in eco. I'm hoping we can make up for that. I think we just go with 3. I think it's going to take too long if we go to 4. Oh, maybe not, since it's building already. We do have to worry about starving. God, I wish I could target the wolf buff better. Shit, we just don't have the economy for this.
Petiem geld. Baw se wód faw. Mój budut i mojagog. Pogiezał ją. Moje niebła. Hello. Kapilin, musiał miągać.
No, Wolf, you fucking... Wolf, I swear Volkov has pathing as bad as a snake sometimes. Well, we're dead. While we had his commander dead, I thought we'd be able to pick off the army, and then we'd be able to move in before he could rebuild, but no. Should have bunked the skunks or cams, maybe. I can't really tell what was and was not buffed. But it was an uphill fight the whole way through. We just never had an easy expansion. GG. Now, the one base all in was always a big ask, because we committed to it so late. Yeah, I probably sold the skunks too soon. Probably could have sold chameleons or something instead, but... C'est la vie. Hindsight, you know. Alright, well that's going to be enough for tonight, I think. It's been fun. I'll see you tomorrow for some more 12 Duels. And, you know, maybe things will go a little bit differently. Current song. I can get that for you before we leave. There you go. Alright, so have a good night everybody, and see you tomorrow. Toodles! The stream is going to start earlier. It's going to start at 7 PM GMT. So we started at 10, so it's going to be 3 hours earlier than this stream. Alright? There will be an announcement in the Discord and probably on the 12 Duels as well, and I'll probably put it up in the Pocket Bot just to make sure people know. But yeah, that's gonna be then. Alright, so for real now, good night. Toodles, everybody.